My beautiful and lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. People want to see how to play Hanzo in GM. In general, see more GM videos. This doesn't just work for Hanzo, but Hanzo is gonna be the forefront of the pick. That's what we're gonna talk about today. Again, if you like videos like this and you want to see more, tell me down in the comment section below, as that helps me what heroes you want to try to see. Or in general, if you just want to see me more play in GM and so on, kind of do these styles of breakdowns. I also think about doing it for pro players, but we'll have to see how that works out. Now, liking and subscribing with bell notification always helps out the channel, but let's really just begin. So, this is the enemy team. We have just launched second point. We did not full cap third point ourselves, so if they get it to about here, the payload, we lose. Okay? So we need to full hold. In general, we of course want to hold as far as possible. This is the enemy team composition. So the enemy team composition shapes how I play. I don't really care too much about my team composition. I care about how the enemy team composition is, so that I can fuck with them. So notice they have, so their main DPS line here in the main group dynamic is this, right? They have an Ashe, an Ana, and a Sen. Ryan D.Va as the frontliner, and then they have a Tracer to flank our backline, right? Meaning, what does that mean for me? How does that dictate me as a player? That means that I want to, rule number one, pressure the frontline. Frontline pressure is my utmost highest priority for me as a player, as one, we don't have a lot of space to play on, as the payload needs to get to here for us to lose, and two, because if we can stop this payload, then this frontline to pushing, the enemy team cannot have space to work with. Right, so this and Yada don't have space to work with. This Ana, this Ashe are forced around corners and has difficulty playing like that. And the Tracer cannot efficiently work because, again, if we are retreating, right, if our team is moving backwards, right, and retreating from an aggressive enemy front line, then the Tracer can just go into a backline and start assassinating, as we will be busy. So I want to preemptively removing their shields, fucking with their main tanks. Make sure that they cannot push. Again, if we take the Rhine out of play, then this is easy, right? It's a Sen, an Ashe, an Ana, a D.Va, right? All those are easy for me as a Hanzo to burn, especially the D.Va frontliner, right? So I can, if the Rhine goes, I can take out the D.Va, or pressure the D.Va so hard that she can't play, and then it's only this left, right? So my main priority is to focus on the Rhine and potentially the D.Va, and second, of course, is always to look for picks. We always look for picks and so on. What we'll be seeing in this VOD review that I'm going to do of myself, essentially, is we're going to be focusing a little bit about how I use Dragon Strikes, as that's something that a lot of people strike. Notice that we don't play with Sorry, so I can't grab combo. So how I use Dragon Strike to mess up with the enemy team, and how me playing aggressively and removing shields and so on also continuously staggers the enemy team by aggressively fighting them on our terms. That's what really gonna take a look at today, including positioning. You will be noticing how I also position myself, as again, I will be positioning myself here most of the game. And you might be wondering, okay, but why don't you position yourself up here? And the real reason for that, because potentially, right, if I'm up here, I can shoot over the Rhine shield into their backline and pick off the Sen and pick off the Ana. The reason is because of my game plan is to remove shields. And with this angle, I get to shoot around down here, right? So I can shoot the Rhine as he moves up here and so on. And I can look for support so he can't push up here and so on. So I'm locking him to play here, and I'm pressuring that area. If I was up here, I would only be able to see past this line, right? So therefore, I decided to take this as my original position. It's also easier for me to retreat backwards if the enemy team does a sudden advance. It's also because of Zenyatas and Ashes and so on, but those would be difficult to play up here, but whatever. It's also because of those, right? But on that high ground, of course, I would be safer from the Tracer. But for me, it's all about removing Rhine shields. So I will also be taking position like this. I will be starting here if possible, right? Weakening the Rhine and their front line, looking for picks as they move out of spawn. Then moving back to here. Doing the same thing when they're moving up here. Then going back to here, doing the exact same thing when they go back there. And then potentially, right, up here, right, using a wall to potentially weaken a front line here as well, right? Or up here, depending on how I want to play it. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit look at the positioning again, because again, I want the widest possible angles on their damage shields and so on. So let's really just begin. So I send out a Dragon Strike here. This is really just because we lost that fight and so on, so I just tried to see if I could force the enemy team back away from our spawn doors and so on, and try to save my D.Va, as you've tried to retreat with the loser speed. But didn't matter. Well, I got the Tracer, but we did get DMAC'd anyway, which is kind of bad. Poking as always, right? Kind of just looking here, messed up my Sonic Arrow. My accuracy will not be as good as it should be this game, but it doesn't really matter because of how my gameplay strategy is to mess up tanks, not pick up park plays. I see the Ashe, I kill the Ashe because he's practically standing still, it's super easy shot, right? Notice this, the enemy has split their front line. Oh, yeah, right. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot that this continuously puts itself in full screen, so if I try to draw on the screen, it minimizes. Notice how they position. 2 tanks there, supports over here. So that means if I can easily try to pick up the supports, and I also want to make sure that these guys are not allowed to retreat, as they are now down 2 players, and they want to retreat. So I started hugging this wall to deny the support picking me. As soon as I killed her, I'm like, oh, we have advantage. I rotate over here. From here, I can start shooting easily down towards the Zenyatta, towards the Ana, and I continuously can keep a line of sight on their Rhines as they retreat that way. So it's really just to boycott and get like better line of sight on like this area over here. That's kind of why I'm gonna take another position. Again, very important. Small stuff, that's very important, right? I shoot at the Sen, he needs to back off, right? Continuously pressing the Rhine. I just use Dragon Strike around 65% on it. We bomb. And then again, that's how fast you build Dragon Strike here. And that's also why it's important for me to highlight how we use this Dragon Strike to get value. We bump, we lose this Tracer, but we kill the Ryan, which is very, very, very worth, as our spawns are much better, and it's a very big, better trade. And they pop trance. Okay. I'm gonna give a little bit space again, because I don't want to get assassinated by the Tracer. I don't want to get assassinated by the Diva or anything like that. So I'm gonna go back to my corner. There's no real reason for me to be pushing up further, right? If I'm up here, or I'm here, it doesn't really gain me anything. Except that here I have cover with a corner, so it's stupid for me to stay up here, as I would be just easier to kill. While here I have corner to cover myself with, right? So therefore I'll be moving a little bit back and playing a little bit here, focusing the Diva, as anyway I can't build, right? Trance goes out, I hit the Sen, only a body shot, unfortunately, as I was actually aiming at the head of the Tracer. And now, okay, they split 2 players to the right, mainly this guy. So I'm gonna be looking and see if I can pick up this guy, and if not, then I have this one to pressure. Notice that I'm close to Dragon Strike. That'll be important in a couple seconds. I'll shoot. Okay, I hit the Tracer. I tried to mark the Sen. I missed the Sen because my aim is bad. Pop rapid fire. Get the ultimate. Now remember, who is still dead? The Rhine. They're still down 1 player. I want to continue to fight them aggressively while they're down 1 player. They are 5v6ing us right now. That's what I want. I want them to continually 5v6. Remember, the Tracer is also flanking, so she's kind of the one. Now, we have difficulty pushing because there is an Ashe down here, there's an Ana down here, there's still a Diva that's kind of somewhere here, and there's a Sen over here. So pushing directly in will allow a little bit of crossfire. There's also a Tracer, right? So pushing in will allow us to turn to get crossfire very easily. So what I'll be doing is sending the Dragon Strike like that, right? Sending it on the Zenyatta, forcing him to either move that way. If he goes, then he runs into my front line and me. So if he picks option 1, he runs into the front line and me. If he picks option 2, he splits himself away so far for the team that he's an easy kill. And by putting it there, no one can help him, and no one can really see through my Dragon Strike either because of the skin. So it's very difficult for them to help him here. And I can then, if they start advancing with like their damage deals or whatever, I can get very easy line of sight on them, right? So my job is not to kill the Zenyatta here, as I don't want to rotate like that. My job is to ult here, force the Zenyatta to move somewhere, my team advances on him, and then I can kill up their backline, right? So I'm sending that thing. I almost killed Diva. I tried to demech her. They need to use nade. Now the Rhine is back, but now the Sen is dead. So now it's a 5v6 again. And back to my standard plan. Shoot the Rhine, not get hit by the dynamite. They start retreating a little bit. I mark the Rhine. And now the enemy team, oh sorry about that, that's actually my bad. And now the enemy team is going to be caught in their long runway, right? Because they advanced and we got to pick, so now it's 5v6, and now they have to fight us like this, right? So again, my priority is to try to see if I can land a shot on this Ana, which is very difficult, or if I can try to kill someone like the Rhine, right? So I'll just continue to shoot here, look for some picks, poke the Rhine. Notice how his shield is starting to crack, our shield is like practically full, right? They start advancing a little bit, so we just make sure that I make sure that I keep my space, right? Again, I want to retreat backwards if possible and just lay down fire. I don't want to get caught out, so I'm going to continuously keep here. Spamming, looking for the Sen. Also by me spamming those corners, remember that means that the Zenyatta and the Ashe cannot push around the corner and shoot us as we are defending, right? So the Rhine advances now, their supports can follow up behind him, but again, then I'll just continue to bully the tanks. 75% on my ulti. 2 Diva bombs comes out from one from my team, one from the enemy team. We get their Diva, they get our Tracer, they have a weaker front line. This makes my job just so much easier. I'll continue to shoot the Rhine. The ascent peaks a little bit, so I try to see a pick, right? Notice that I try to get a pick if possible, but I know that my aim isn't that good right now. So, therefore, I'm continuously focusing on the Reinhardt. My aim doesn't need to be good to hit the Reinhardt or the Rein's shield, right? So I'm taking the opportunity shots if possible, but because I'm messing with the Reinhardt so much, they can't aggressively push into angles that's easy for me to shoot. They're very smart and keeps the Tristans a little bit safe, and it allows me to just play like this. We nano and push. I do not want to push aggressively again. I'm holding this angle to try to help my diva a little bit, take a little bit of the fire strike damage. Shadow comes out, and again, I dragon strike behind the Rein, far behind where you can move, so I'm boycotting him. If you notice where the dragon comes now, I am boycotting him at the Ash. Right now, I would want my team to advance on them. They don't do that, but I still block them off here. The Rein shield is low, and I can continue to just help breaking it. I stopped the retreat. I made them use nade, which is still worth. So I'm going to continuously to look and try to see if I can kill the Ash. Whenever she peeks the shield, he has to drop the shield, or I break it. I'm 2 seconds from rapid fire. Either way, we would hit the shatter. He either drops the shield and tries to fight back on my Rein and tries to push him away, or I break his shield and he dies. As I boycotted him and allowed more time to break his shield, right? Now we're gonna just kind of clean up this. Not very difficult to shoot people that are on the ground. It's clearly very difficult for me to hit a Zarya. And back to the same plan. Mark here and time to start spamming. Gonna use this car as my cover. Start building ult shots, right? 32%, I just use dragon, right? Again, constantly using this. If I can keep them in their chokes, I can constantly just dragon strike them and split them or force them to move back or something. Again, I immediately start falling back. And continue to hold my corners as I don't want to die. My job is just to be a turret. I'm just slowing them down, right? As soon as the Ryan pushed a little bit too much to the right, I tried to see if I could land a cheeky pick onto one of their supports as I saw something getting marked. That's fine. They have a Zarya now. I continue to spam and spam and spam. Right, 67% on my dragon. We hit a nano, and I continue to shoot. We killed the Ryan, and I just advanced with my team. I answered a little bit aggressively here, as I didn't expect my Ryan to get slapped. And they killed my Ryan. Now I need to be a little bit aware, but I'm still playing it close. You might be wondering, okay, but if you want to play it safe, why are you standing here in front line the enemy team? I know I have leap, so I can leap back to my corner. I have rapid fire backup, and I'm really just trying to see. They killed my Ryan, we killed their Ana, they don't have much healing. There's a chance that I can still get a kill. As there's not much, yes, sure, he can maybe kill me, that's very unlikely in my opinion. This guy can dive me and then I'll just jump around the corner to my team. So they can't really advance with me, I still have 4 players behind me, plus myself. And I want to build dragon and I want to see if I can get a pick, because then we can continue to stagger them. Right, so I'll continue to just spam here and just look for some picks. Their Ryan is still not back, so I am kind of abusing the fact that they have no shield. Trying to take some angles. Again, notice I'm peeking when I have leap, so I can just leap back, right? And now I'm giving a lot of space. I'm giving a lot of space, and I'm shooting in between my peaks, right? So I'm peeking, hiding, right? Constantly. Marking here just to get a little bit of vision. The Tracer tries to flank. I try to shoot her, I miss. And again, Dragon Strike behind the Reinhardt to force the supports away from the choke so they cannot heal him. And now these 2 tanks are split off, right? We go in, we actually toss in the Diva Bomb, they nano and trans, we get their Ana, and now my Ryan is gonna mess up, and he's gonna get, I help my Ashe and so on, try to get this Ashe, rotate away from the Bob, because I have to, right, and back on here, continues fighting. Kill this Ryan with my Diva, I'm with my Diva, well, trying at least, right, and again, using cover here to try to avoid minimum damage. We get this kill, and back to spamming, okay? So again, it's the same plan. The only difference that happened here was that, okay, I Dragon Strike here, I split them off. Ryan is nanoed, so there's not much I can do about him, right? I can try to help, but I don't have rapid fire, so there's not much I can do about a nano Ryan. And hitting the trace is inconsistent, so I'm just kind of shooting, and there's also trans up. So I'm just kind of shooting, trying to see if I can build Dragon. I hear the Ashe behind me, and while I could allow my 2 supports, if I remember correctly, I didn't believe in my supports at this moment because of how they have been playing. So I advanced with them to try to kill the Ashe. We do kill her. And then I take this angle. And again, notice I'll be using this vending machine. Or whatever. No, it's a debit machine or whatever it's called. AT&T. I don't fucking know what it's called. ATM. That's what it's called. I'll use this ATM to protect myself. So I'll get this Zen, right? The Zarya, right? Leap here. And again, I'll use this ATM, right? To cover myself in the doorway, right? Advance aggressively. right? Help with this area, right? And now it's just clean up as we have most picks. Baby Diva is broken, by the way. And back to marking. I hit the Ash with my Sonic, so I'll try to hit her. She goes for pack, right? So then we just continue to spam and see if we can land something. Preamp fire there, wasn't a headshot. Continue to spam the shield again and again, right? I am 99 on Dragon Strike, and there it comes. I Dragon here to boycott again. I do hit it so that they can't follow up on the grab. I kill the Zarya, which is great. And continue to try to pressure the shield, and then we get shattered. Right, and this moment we were 2 picks up. We only actually needed, we didn't really need to drop the shield. But now I get shattered, and now they kind of VOD ends as this was supposed to be YouTube footage originally. So, again, the plan of my play is to continuously pressure the shield, look for people that peek around the shield, again, keep that front line back. I'm not trying to do any fancy flanks or any fancy angles. I'm not taking positions like up on the high ground that allows me to shoot, to focus more on picking off backline. It's all about sabotaging the front line. You can normally always do this in your games. Just sabotage the front line and then look for picks in between those shots. Even with bad aim like this, I didn't have very good aim in that game. My aim was actually pretty bad on Hanzo. We still pulled off fighting, and then using Dragon Strikes again, because there's no grab, to boycott areas, right? Split off here for a, right, is normally one of my favorites, right? Because again, if the supports are here healing, they need to back, right? They need to give space, right? Same with here, splitting off here, forcing him to rotate that way so my tanks can kill him, and I can just continue to lock down this area. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. Tell me down below if you did, and if you guys have what's it called, advice on feedback on how you guys want to see this series evolving, and so on. Liking and subscribing with bell notification always helps, and so on. I hope you guys have a lovely bit of a gaming experience as always, guys. My name's been Jonal. Stay positive and keep the enemy in your crosshair.